Hello and welcome to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We're in the Ascension and we are looking for the Magmatic Annulet. And so Dracogan puts in a good word for us with the Memovira so we can actually talk with her. Not exactly sure why, but well, we're gonna find it out. And maybe this thing has anything to do with that. What is this? Warm radius from this device, providing relief from the frigid air. It could be the equivalent of a campfire, or it could have some other long forgotten purpose, or both. Okay, what about that? Some oddities. Nothing really quest related. Just some shims. Alright. Given as it floats weightless in the air, the megalith speaks adamantine heft. Perhaps because of its contrast with the surrounding crystals. The stone bleeds need, even hunger, and a telepathic whisper wraps the thought product in your mind. Try to read its mind to understand what it wants. Nah, that would be rude. Let's study the megalith. Although from a distance it seems to be a single stone, up close you can see that it is covered in many small scales. Each inscribed with a different pattern, whorls and loops and arches as distinct as those of fingerprints. Whether it is a mechanical construct, a living being, or something else entirely is unclear. Nah, we're not gonna smash it. What do you want? Product. I only know other. Give. I only return happy bubbles. What product? Tell me what you want. The only response is the thought. Product. Grating in your mind. What product? Please tell me what you want. The only response is product. Try to read its mind to understand what it wants. You don't hear any thoughts from the megalith beyond what it projects to you. If there is a mind here to read, it's impenetrable. Should we smash it? At this, you're gonna get in trouble, not me. Digging your fingers deep under the scale, you rip and tug with all your strength. At last, the scale snaps off, revealing a tube-like fistula leading into the megalith's interior. As a small object rolls out of the tube, your mind explodes with the megalith's outrage. No, bad hatchling, no bubbles. Then its thought falls silent. We got some collection of crystals. The other scales are pressed more tightly against the megalith, and a thin, oily coating seeps over them. No more prying will be possible. So is this the... Was this the Magmatic Annulet? Because we definitely got a part.
Consider it done.
I mean, there's nothing else we can do here. Maybe I was a bit too hasty with that. Pretty sure that we already interacted with this one. Oh!
Whatever.
Oh.
Alright.
We can go this way. What is this? Right.
Fine.
I wonder if this was possible before. I just didn't do it. Maybe I needed the part from the crystal to do it. Pretty sure that I touched it. Yes, crystalline structure is distinct from all others. It looks older, more fundamental, but by no means basic. It is one of the more complex structures you've seen in this place. Large portion of it glow, emanating a low, rumbling hum that you can feel in your chest. Blurry lights flit across the surface of its largest gems. Are you a phobit?
Come on, last guy, stop asking that from people.
Can you speak? Wave of force pulses out from the crystalline structure. Your body shudders with the impact, even though you hear nothing. Are you a phobit? The crystal releases another single pulse, jolting your body. You get the strong impression that the pulse means yes. And this phobit is not like any other you've seen. It may not have the communicative qualities of the speaker, but it is trying to talk to you nonetheless. What is your function? The glow dims slightly and the blurry lights on the gemmed surfaces disappear. You realize that they weren't lights at all, but images of the phobit was trying to show you. When they reappear, they show a flat crystalline plane. Then one by one, shards emerge. They bud and sprout in the shape of the other phobits. As you watch, they continue growing, creating ridges, walkways, stairs. In one corner, you see the speaker flower out of the crystals. In a matter of seconds, this entire region of the Ascension has taken shape in the image before you. This phobit built it all. I'm looking for a circlet of dark, hyline material, the Magmatic Annulet. Have you seen it? The large crystal poses once. An image appears of a human figure walking through the Ascension into a cave. The details are too fuzzy to make out who it is, but presumably he has the Annulet. After a while, he leaves the cave. The images move quickly then. Crystals growing and shrinking as time passes. Suddenly, the entire image shakes and the cave entrance is gone. When the cave entrance closes, it doesn't look like a simple collapse. Crystals grow up from the ground, as if they are intentionally blocking the way inside. Why did the cave close? The violet light dims for a moment, and an ominous pulse shudders through your body. An image appears of some kind of multi-legged cloud creature you've never seen before. You closed the cave, didn't you? Can you open it again for me? The light within the crystal freezes in place, and the humming of the phobit ceases. It stays motionless for some time. Finally, you feel the single pulse of force through your body. Yes. Whoa! Okay, farewell, phobit. You feel two quick pulses through your body, then the crystal structure goes still.
Why not?
My pet crystal! Please don't get rid of the bridge. That would be very
ready.
rude.
I'm always ready.
Okay, what about this? Oh, it's just
Ready.
some loot next to the crystal, not the crystal itself.
Here we
Lot
go
of shins.
then.
So what is this? Oh. Oh, more loot. I take it. It would be hard to see,
won't notice I'm
hard to
gone.
click, without the highlighting. Like that's it.
course.
We explored this entire place outside. Well, I gotta say, whoever had the Magmatic Annulet, this is a weird place to come to, and this is a weird task that I was given. This reminds me of, you know, I don't think this reminds me of anything at all. Well, well, it was hard to see who the hell was saying that. I went with Ali Girl,
Right.
kind of, but usually the texts fade real
Fine.
quickly. At least if you wanna read them out loud.
Yes.
If you want a job done right,
I always want it done right. That's the only way. It's worth doing. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa,
Let's
whoa, whoa.
go.
Is that it? Tinkerer's Cap. That's not so bad.
Fine.
Pretty good. Intellect Edge. Whoa, what is this?
I'll handle it.
This device seems to be the source of the low hum that permeates the cavern. It's receiving power through thick cables from two large machines against the the wall. An impenetrable field of energy seals off part of the cave.
On it.
Got some kind of pot here.
You've got it.
Forgot about my pod. This machine is similar to the one next to it, but it doesn't have any sort of interface or control panel.
It's a plan.
That's how I usually like them. What about this pod? The stasis pod is dull and lifeless. There is no visible way to activate it.
Ready.
Okay. So what are this? So it looks like we can't get inside here. We need to do something with this. I'm calling it this because I don't know what to make of this. Whatever. What is this? Like a toaster? Like you just slide in the bread on the top? Probably not the case. All the cables in the room connect to this bulky machine and its twin. They generate a low rumble that you can feel in your feet. As you approach, a screen lights up. A strange maze-like rune flashes angrily in the center of the screen. 3 other glyphs revolve slowly around it in an elliptical orbit. A bolt of lightning, a set of parallel lines, and a circle. Smash it! Just kidding. Touch the flashing maze-like rune. What's with all the touching? Touch the flashing, touch the glyph, touch the circular glyph. No. I suppose we're gonna do some touching. Touch the flashing maze-like rune. A picture appears. It looks like technical schematics of the device behind you. At the center of the room, the source of the low hum. Vertical lines of runes appear next to the schematic, but you can't read them. Do it. Try to decipher the runes with mystical and anamnesis. I'm a smart cookie, aren't I? Although you can't read the runes, the gist of the message becomes clear. It's a warning about the device with the 2 crystals at the center of the chamber. The device has deteriorated to an unstable state, and any fluctuation in power is likely to result in an interruption in function. The runes do not say what will happen if the device ceases to function, or if they do, you cannot decipher it. Let's go back to the initial screen. Touch the glyph that looks like a bolt of lightning. The rune and the glyphs disappear, replaced with an image sifting the bank of 3 large crystals to your right. Symbols flow into the image, showing that the device is currently receiving power from the machine before you. A circular symbol glows next to the image. Each time one of the symbols enters the image of the crystals, the circular symbol pulses brightly. Pressing it would likely cut the flow of power to the bank of crystals. Let's not do it right now. That's the thing we got. Touch the glyph of parallel lines. An image appears of the pod in the far corner of the room. The image of the pod is dim. A circular symbol sits next to the image. Press the dim circular symbol. Both the symbol and the pod light up on the screen. The circular symbol pulses in time with all odd symbols that march into the image of the pod itself. In the far corner of the room, new noises indicate that the pod is now receiving power. Alright. So I supposed to just go there? I wanted to check out the last button.
Let's go.
Touch the circular glyph. An image appears deciding the humming device in the center of the room. The one with 2 crystals. Symbols flow into the image, showing that the device is currently receiving power from the machine before you. A circular symbol pulses each time a symbol flows into the image. Pressing it would likely cut the flow of power to the crystals, causing the humming to cease. The circular symbol is outlined in red, suggesting that the function of this device is particularly important. Let's return to the interface. Smash it! Just kidding. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. Alright. Rings of energy pulls around the stasis pod. There appears to be nothing inside it, but a control interface hovers a few centimeters off the surface at one end of the pod. Surprisingly, the words on the interface are written in the truth, and you can understand them. There are several options, but most of them are dimmed out. The only two functioning options are check status and access data. Let's check status. A picture of the pod appears. The lid on the image is closed and flashing red. Several other places on the image of the pod flash red as well. The text says, Stasis pod empty, error, self-diagnostic failed, cannot open stasis pod, primary functions offline, data integrity 67%. Let's access the data. List of records appear. Several of them are crossed out with the word corrupted next to the name. Most of the functioning records are mundane, like system integrity results or lists of lab equipment. But there are a number of functioning data records labeled experimental notes. Okay, access the first experimental note. An unfamiliar male voice reverberates throughout the room. Preliminary investigation suggests that Mazov was correct. The crystals of the extension bear the properties we require to complete the resonance chamber. The Annulet provided invaluable in reaching this place and may have other uses beside, so it will be some time before I can return it to Drakugan. Much more experimentation is required before I know for certain whether the Ascension holds what I seek. Access the second experiment note. The secretions of the crystal war are one of the few substances I found that can eat through the living crystal of the Ascension. I've had several larvae brought here for that purpose. Drakugan exudes patience with regard to the Annulet, but I've dealt with other Drakugans before. He will only remain patient for so long before he decides I have cheated him. No matter, I fear the sorrow more than I fear them. Access the third experiment note. I have several experiments running simultaneously while I wait for the crystal to grow. True to their name, the crystal wars have proven quite adaptable to this environment and invaluable to this part of the process. The Ascension natives may prove useful as well. I had ignored them initially, for although their speaker is capable of cogent communication, it has proven useless in providing any real information. However, I have since seen other natives accomplishing some remarkable feats with the crystal itself, so I captured one for study. We shall see if there is more I can learn from it. Access the fourth experiment node. Several of the crystal war larvae hatched prematurely and escaped. It's unclear how it happened, but I suspect that someone came looking for the Annulet while I was buying supplies in Sagus. No doubt they tampered with my machines in their efforts to find it. To prevent further sabotage, I have placed the Annulet and the remaining larvae behind the energy field. The power generator can open the field, but it now requires a passcode sequence to ensure that there is no further tampering. I'm not foolish enough to record that sequence here, but should something happen to me, such that I forget, the 3, the 6 through the baby center are the key. The voice says nothing more. If there was supposed to be a hint, its meaning is unclear. Perhaps it would make more sense when looking at the power generator itself. Access the fifth experiment node. The escalated crystal wars are growing and breeding. They now constitute a serious threat to my work. I've built a device to emit sound waves at a very specific frequency, lulling the creatures into dormancy. So far, it appears to be an effective countermeasure, but I shall have to keep careful watch to be sure. I must also make sure that the power generator does not experience any interruptions, lest they wake again. Sixth experiment. The voice speaks between ragged breaths. This will be my last entry. Drakugan's patience has worn thin, as I knew it would. His agents are outside and will no doubt break through my defenses momentarily. If they do, I will have to abandon this body. I don't know when I will be able to return, but I am. The voice cuts off. There is no more of this entry. So this was written by the Changing God. The voice on this entry is the same as the other entries, but it has none of the confidence from before. I don't know what's happening. I woke in this cave, surrounded by angry men demanding something called an Annulet. I don't know what it is, but they attacked me. I didn't know what to do, so I fought back. I killed them. The blood, it's everywhere. Some of it's mine, but most of it. I found these notes afterwards when I was trying to figure out what was happening to me. I couldn't figure out how to retrieve the Annulet, but those men were sent by someone called Dracogan. I don't know what any of this means. I'm going to find out, but I'm leaving this message in case I don't make it back. I don't know who will listen, but well, I figured I should leave something of me in here, somewhere, in case I don't get very far. Close the record list. List of records vanishes. The original list of options appears. Check status and access data. Okay.
Finally, something to do.
So we possibly will need a task code. Did I find anything that could be Patience Everlasting? I don't know. Maybe I have the thingies.
Here comes the Boredom Slayer.
We should switch it off. Whoa! No. The machine continues to rumble softly. As you approach, the screen lights up again. A maze-like rune flashes angrily in the center of the screen, with 3 glyphs revolving slowly around it. Try to figure out the key to unlocking a force field based on the clue from the experiment notes. Come on. Smart cookie, stop showing off. The 3 geo discs through the baby center are the key. Watching the glyphs revolve around the central rune, the meaning suddenly becomes clear. The symbols increase and decrease in size as they move around the rune, traveling more quickly when they come close to it and slower when they are farther away. They aren't revolving, they are orbiting, and the rune is the baby center. The definition of geodesic rises from the depths of your mind as well. It means a great circle track, the shortest line between 2 points on a sphere. On a hunch, you draw a line from each of the 3 symbols to the others, curving the line through the rune in the center. The symbols stop orbiting. Lines appear where your finger drags across the interface. Soon you have 3 current lines connecting each of the symbols, 3 geodesics through the same baby center. Interface disappears, replaced by an image of some kind of field projector. Triumphant, you cut the power to the projector. Across the cavern, force field deactivates. Very convenient.
Done.
Done! Come on, Lally girl. Don't be like that. Can we loot it?
Here
Let's go
we
inside.
go then.
Let's cast up. Oh, what is this? Ooh, what? That's a pretty good cipher. Take it.
I'm
What is
ready.
this? Bone shell. Wow. 20 armor for 5 rounds.
These ciphers are killing me.
Let's give that to Ertis. That seems like a good thing to go for if you're melee.
On it.
Anyway, what the hell is this? Nestled among the crystal formation is a steel pod. Cables pass in and out of the pod, glowing with energy. As soon as you're within arm's reach, a shining interface materializes in the air between you and the pod. There are a few strange symbols arranged in a circle around a filigreed pentagon, similar to the tattoo on your head. Touch the symbols around the filigreed pentagon. Nothing happens. Place your hand on the pentagon. Nothing happens. Touch your own tattoo to the center symbol. Wow! As you draw closer, the filigree, the pentagon grows more brightly. Your head becomes warm, but not uncomfortably so. When it touches the light, you feel a small amount of energy flow out from you. The cables on the pod pulls quickly, and the top of the chamber opens with a hiss. The only item inside is a Hylian circlet, as black as the sky behind the stars. The Magmatic Annulet. You remove it from the pod and take it with you.
I'll remember that.
Chamber hisses shut, and the interface vanishes.
On it.
Alright, so we got it. We can go back to Drac again.
If you want a job done right.
Why do you have a feeling that I'm gonna get attacked? Like, that dragon guy is definitely shady.
Go.
I mean, like, that's gonna be one big resolution for sure. Alright. Oh, we gotta go back to the portal.
Doing it now.
Oh, come on. I just knew it. The jerk say, "Oh, we were standing here doing nothing, but you found the stuff. Now we want it." Actually, I expected Draken to attack me for some reason, but looks like he's... Doran bears your path with a slight confident smile. "Greetings again, Castle. Whatever you did in that cave has caught the changing god's attention. He knows you're here now, and he has asked me to destroy your mind." A smile broadens. "Do not resist." Wow! Suddenly his pupils slide out of view, not up, but sideways, as abruptly as they've been slapped. "Yes," he says in the same casual tone. "Of course it won't be long now." Pupils return from the opposite side. "Don't waste your time speaking to him. Take his mind." You said you weren't really a prophet. He shrugs. "I lied." "Your father speaks to me," he says, pointing at a tiny device at the base of his skull. Too small to have noticed before. "He has told me that he has need of your body, and I have learned over the years to trust what he says." A hint of sorrow touches his eye. "It's time to return to your father's property, Cast-Off." Intimidation. "I'll give you one chance to run. Just one. Be smart." Oh, come on. Not me. Atis, you're gonna intimidate the shit out of them. Should I do it myself? Screw you guys. I'm gonna do it myself. His complacency drains in the face of your threat. His eyes pop open wide. His hands fly instinctively to his ears as though someone were shouting at him. "I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I'm not strong enough. I do not want to." "Fool, you are less than worthless. I will find another way to retrieve my body."
I'm ready to become even more heroic.
His head popped. At least his men survived. There's a high-pitched keening. Doran clutches the device at the back of his skull as though it were hurting him. He groans, swaying. With a soggy crump, his head bursts. With a single horrified glance at their fallen prophet, his followers flee. "That is your god now."
Fine.
Oh, can we take his stuff? We're taking your stuff. You don't need it anymore. Ooh, what is this? Fine, we're taking it all. We're just gonna sort it out later. Alright, changing god. He's not too powerful. He's not too powerful. He's definitely powerful, but not too powerful. Oh, what the hell? No way! Looks like we have to find another way out.
I'm ready.
Seriously? That was the only way out. The portal to Churgon's slump is gone. All that remains is a hideous scar. Like, I don't know. We need to go back, right?
I am the very soul of action.
Like, there's nothing Tongue cluster? Like, this is the only thing we can interact with. The bloom tongues make wet, unpleasant sounds as they writhe and squirm against each other. Touch the magmatic Annulet. As you approach, the voices of the bloom begin to click and buzz in your ears, making your fingers twitch and setting your breath on edge. You catch yourself reaching instinctively for the magmatic Annulet, as if it's something you've done many times before. You gotta touch it. You grasp the crystalline artifact. At once, the voices of the bloom grow louder, and louder still. They feel your consciousness, drawing out your thoughts, hissing and whispering and chittering and buzzing. They are coming from every direction, from above and beyond, from nearby and far away. Swaying on your feet, you nearly topple on the floor. Matkina grabs a hold of your arm to prevent you from falling. What's wrong with you? Her eyes are wide and confused. You shake your head, unable to respond, caught up in the torrent of maddening sound. Slowly the bloom voices resolve themselves into their constituent parts, but now they carry sense impressions with them: hunger, curiosity, desire. Each burst of bloom voices evokes a new impression in your mind. For a moment you let go of the Annulet and the sense impressions are gone. The voices are nothing but meaningless babble. Then you touch the Annulet again and the sense impression returns. You realize that the magmatic Annulet is a translator of sorts, though the limits and scope of its power are uncertain. Listen to the nearest voices. You hear the cluster of bloom tongues whispering softly to you, exuding a sense of expectation and familiarity. These tongues know your scent, or perhaps that of your sire, and they are eager to touch your mind, but their voices are not the only ones here. A score of other voices gibber and shout from the dark corners of the room. Ordinary human voices that once belonged to the merchants, guards and bloom guides who were devoured here. Fragments of their minds cling to life in their half-digested corpses, and they cry out in confusion, rage or pain. Listen to the distant voices too. You focus on the bloom voices that are coming from outside the trade post. What seemed at first like an indistinct babble is actually many different voices, thousands of voices, each arising from somewhere else in the bloom. Some of the voices belong to individual maws, evoking impressions of hunger and need. Others resonate from deeper places within the bloom. When you concentrate on those voices, you experience flashes of intense emotion or catch fleeting glimpses of man and woman being beaten or killed. Every voice is unique, chittering, groaning, barking, whispering, rattling, hissing, yet all of them are the bloom. Try to communicate with the cluster of bloom tongues. Relaxing your mind, you allow the whispering of the bloom tongues to penetrate your thoughts. Memories rise into your consciousness, trivial moments you thought you had forgotten. Just as you recognize them, they are swept away. The bloom tongues are sifting through your memories, looking for something. The voices dig deeper into your consciousness. What seemed harmless at first becomes irritating. A dull ache blossoms in the back of your head, spreading across your skull and down your spine. The pain comes in waves, as if the bloom is trying to wrench your memory out of your brain. I think the tidal surge would be okay. Channel the pain back into the bloom tongues. That's not it. Allow the bloom to feed on the memory. Dimly you are aware of the bloom's presence in your mind, pulling at a memory hidden deep in your unconscious, like a stubborn tooth that refuses to be torn out. With a final gout of searing agony, the memory bursts into your conscious mind. You stand under a blazing purple sun that was never of the ninth world you know. Your body sits heavy on you, unfamiliar muscles rippling as you move, and move you must, as your boots lose their propulsive power. You must scramble at the sheer rock face for the extra boost, pulling yourself up with your battered hands, trying to reach the eye socket of the mountainside statue. You laugh madly, and you can feel your consciousness straining to leave this shell. You gain the safety of the carven eye. You look below to see your pursuers swarming up the cliff. You are defiling their holy ground, and they mean to make you pay in blood. Their lamprey mounts, their many arms, and the needle-capped suckers on their hands are all suggest that they are more than capable of taking it. Except as they come, you hold your hand out above them and curl it into a fist. The air coalesces into an acid shower that rains down among them. Their screams are like an opera. The memory ends, slurped from your mind like a sugary nectar. You remember witnessing it, yet the memory itself, the collection of sensory impressions that was actually experienced by the changing god, is gone, devoured by the bloom. The bloom tongues sag drunkenly against each other, as if that feast has made them languid and confused. Try to take control of the bloom tongues. Oh, he taking that. You reach across the barrier that separates your consciousness from that of the tongues, a barrier now made permeable by the Annulet. Tentatively, you begin to direct the motions of the tongues. It's a strange sensation, like having another set of limbs, but they respond to your impulses. Reluctantly, the tongues try to resist, but with a bit of concentration you quiet them like errant thoughts. These tongues, you realize, are a tiny locus of the bloom's consciousness. Their roots extend throughout the trade post, and now so do your thoughts and commands. Steal the knowledge and memories of the trapped human minds. I would just wanna restore the portal. Restore the portal. Move the trade post back. I don't know if people wanna see this trade post back. Can we release the human minds that are trapped in the trade post? A few moments of concentration reveal that the snaking roots of the bloom tongues are still connected to the corpses. Hair-like fibers grow through the petrifying flesh, linking to their half-dead brains, keeping their minds alive. You force the bloom tongues to withdraw their fibers from each of the bodies. One by one, the gibbering voices cease, and their tortured minds fade and die. Restore the portal to Churgan's slump. Let's move the trade post back, this is crazy. You close your eyes and relax your mind, probing the limits of your new senses. The roots of the bloom tongues run throughout the trade post, but they also extend some distances into the surrounding flesh. Few of them trail upward, tracing a path toward an open cavity in the outer reaches of the bloom. Oh my. Stealing yourself, you take hold of all the tendrils at once, urging them back along that path, clawing their way toward the surface and dragging the trade post after them. The ground buckles and churns beneath your feet, and the whole chamber begins to move. At last you open your eyes, and the shaking subsides. The blocked archway is opening. You hear astonished voices outside. Oh, right. Can we go down there? The energy spent, the bloom tongues recede into the ground. Yeah, that's nice, but can we go down?
I'm there, in the shadows.
Oh, it works. Oh, never mind that. I thought... Okay, never mind.
All
Can we
right.
just go there?
Consider it done.
How do we go there? Does this work? Ah, works. It kind of looked differently, but okay, I suppose that makes sense. Wow, okay. Not sure what we're doing here. Oh, as you emerge from the trade post, you hear sharp intakes of breath. The two merchants you met earlier are staring at you in amazement. That great jaw! And the teeth! They're gone! The portly human beams at you. Was this your doing? If it was, you have our deepest thanks. Yeah, just pay me before you go in. We are better not, Varian points out. Our wagon is still supper for Bloomtink. Quite right, the human frowns, but it's still damned impressive. I thought the Bloom only answered to the Memovera. Where is she when we need her help, eh? Are you gonna pay me? How did you decide? Well, fine, whatever. I suppose that doesn't work. But we can go back to Drek again.
Let's go.
Well, I did you guys really a solid with restoring the trade post. Yes. Well, I need to talk to Drek again. Not sure if that makes me the new Memovera. Perhaps yes, perhaps not. Still kind of confused. Not really sure. What we're doing. But
I'm going.
Hey, Cody. You're just gonna stand here till he dies.
Why not?
Why not? Okay. You can just take a nap if you wanna, but we don't wanna. So we can talk to Draco again. But do we want to talk to Draco again right now? Of course. But this is a good time to take a break. So hope you guys had fun. Tell me if you did and see you around then. Have a good one, guys.